The green light shows, is everybody?
We're green.
Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and call to order the Recreation Advisory Committee meeting for June 6th. We've got, thank everybody for coming, all of you folks in the audience, and,
You would need members.
oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
thank you.
Remember,
Carol Beckman, me.
no.
Thanks.
Thank you, we're glad that you accepted.
She's not new, she's just.
Lost track of time.
We're glad you accepted the position. Thanks for being
Yes.
here, and we'll try to, hello.
Sorry.
It's you and Fred, you're dead.
Okay, anyhow, we've got a quorum now, so we can go ahead and approve the minutes of the last meeting, and which was May and 2nd. And are there any corrections or additions to the minutes as presented? Hope everybody's had a chance to read them, I think. Rory, you got anything you want to
I
add?
think I didn't catch anything.
Okay. Do I hear a motion that we accept the minutes of May 2nd, please?
So moved.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next item, we'll turn to the recreation report for May, and you got a copy of that in front of you, and Sean, you can kind of hit the highlights if you'd like.
Sure. So just a quick note, we did run the report a little earlier this year. We had to get, or sorry, this month, we had to get things into the system earlier, so that's why the rec report is through the 28th of May, not the full month. So those numbers, actually, the monthly revenue will be up a little bit more. Some things just to point out in director's notes. So the Oz Forest, that is now finished. Mike has wrapped everything up. It looks amazing, and the traffic out there has been really heavy here recently. Also, since he's been up here, he has volunteered to do some work for us, and we built a brand new bike-specific trail off of the side of where Jackalopes is, and we finished that actually this past Tuesday. We're not going to open the trail yet until the Enduro race in August, but it's there, and everybody's already calling me and begging me to open it, but we're not going to. Just to try to let things settle in and get it ready. Also, the playground was stained. That's something on our biannual maintenance schedule, so everything's there. Also, just kind of taking a look at the trail counter numbers, 4,200. Again, that's what the thing's clicking off, so most likely you can divide that in two.
Okay,
But
that's since
still,
when?
That would just be for the month of May.
Oh, gosh.
So if it's two-way traffic, 2,100.
that's
And
still
I mean,
huge.
it's getting
It's
a
a
lot of
huge
use.
number.
Thursday,
Barb?
there was, when I left at 6:30 from up there was about 7 cars. All of them were bike vehicles. And that was a random weekday. So,
Yeah. Yep.
but yeah, things are going
Looks
well
like
there.
you've had some hikers on
Had
your
hikers,
hikes.
yep. And also, Marissa, she had the volunteer trail guide class started this month, and everybody, actually, there's a hike today. Are you gonna make that one, Gil? Great.
Well, depends on.
Yeah, we'll get you out of here. So yeah, everybody's doing their practice classes, and then t-shirts all, and we'll get them, I guess, scheduled for which
I
trail they
say
want.
she did a really good job.
She did a great job.
The little cue cards that she made for
Yeah.
us are perfect to fit in your pocket, and
Yeah.
yeah, they're doing a really good job with that.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's really neat. We've already had some calls of, hey, we missed it. Are you going to do it again? And I said, we will. It's just not yet. So it's sort of sparked more interest. I think we may end up having to do hikes every day of the week. I don't know, but it's been cool to kind of see how it actually progressed and take off like it did. So yeah,
And you got a little money from the binoculars.
a little bit more money. Yeah.
60, 85. Every time I drive by there, there's somebody using the binoculars.
Actually, it'd probably be 60, 75.
Okay, well, that, yeah, somebody put a dime in there. Okay, well, all that sounds good. I've had a lot of compliments on the way the playground looks down there with the new stain on it. And folks are noticing all that, and I think you got the fire truck painted, or pressure washed too, didn't you?
Yes.
Down at the fire station, and Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody have
say-
any questions?
I was gonna make one
Go
comment
ahead.
on the fire station. Sean and I have been talking about, we're gonna look at, right now, it's just some mulch. That's the base at that playground. We're gonna try to look into doing something new this year. I'm trying to get quotes of actually what the rubber
Rubber
chips
stuff.
would be. I know it's definitely more expensive. It's a whole lot safer.
But
The
it'll
mulch
last
just
too.
wears
Last
out.
forever.
It'll last forever.
Yeah.
So we're looking into what we could do.
Well, it's not
that's
that big an
kinda-
area, so,
Yeah, so you can do, now the really, really expensive, it's poured rubber.
how deep do you have to do it? when do
You can
the
go
mulch
6
stuff?
inches, 8 inches,
Or-
kind of what, there's a fall rating, and Sean can figure that out with his certification, but, so just kind of a heads up, that's what we're looking at for firemen in this next fiscal year, and then, after that, we'll probably look at the pea gravel at the Buckeye Playground as well. The pea gravel there is okay, it's kind of outdated of what, I guess,
It's been there a
modern.
long time, yeah.
Yeah, and it gets everywhere. Kids, we get in the kids' playroom, they'll put it in their pockets and come inside, and it's all over the grass. So when they're mowing, they're slinging rocks everywhere. So just looking at trying to clean that up. But that's probably what we'll do with the fireman's part to kind of clean it up here soon.
I just want to say what a success the cold mud run was. I mean, 80 people for the first year, and everybody seemed to have a great time, and it was well set up, had plenty of volunteers.
Beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
day too.
It was a
Yeah.
beautiful day, and I just think Sean's crew did a fabulous job with that.
Yeah,
I agree.
I-
Unbelievable.
yeah. Barbara's there.
And young people, and a lot of new full-time residents that I never met or had even seen before. They're living here and working somewhere else. Unbelievable.
It was good. Kate did a really good job of getting everything put together. Sean and Kelsey, taking care of all the obstacles. So actually, we did do everything in-house. At first, we were thinking we were gonna have to contract some stuff or have some weekend work, but we were able to do it normal hours. We've already got a game plan for next year. We want to build everything bigger and muddier. That's the biggest thing. Bigger and muddier.
But I walked 1 week later, Paul and I did, and everything was perfect, and Kate told me the only thing that she wants to do is stain those ones that are stayed permanently. It looks great.
Yeah, we would like to take care
So
of
that
what's
they
out there.
blend.
Yeah.
No trash, nothing. It looked
Yeah.
good,
It was
Sounds good. Thank you all for who helped with it and participated and volunteered, because it did have a lot of good comments on it. Okay, what else, Sean?
The fishing
You want to recap the two events, or the fishing derby? You've already done the mud.
Yeah, well, I'll just quickly go over the mud run again. After expenses, income, so we actually made $1,300 off the event. And like Barbara said, 80 runners. I think our awards were really unique and neat. We had a local potter make some mugs, and
Cool.
so we got those out. We got T-shirts, headbands, and then also we have one of our year-long campaigns is to start getting some video stuff of summer camp, fitness classes, personal trainings, our events, and everything. So we actually had the company that we're working with on that come up at the event. So if you haven't seen the video, I have it here again for you. It's just a minute long, but just a quick little recap of the mud run.
Hey guys, we're out here with Beef Mountain Parks and Rec. We're doing our first ever in cold mud obstacle race. It's about a 3-mile mud run with 18 obstacles, everything from a mud crawl to a flame jump. We've got a ton of people out here today, and we're super excited.
That was a lot of fun. You had fire, spears, mud, and rope slings. What else do you need?
It was awesome. I'm sorry I couldn't be there.
That was Jared's sister who won first place there.
Okay, can that be on the website? That you can put it on there?
Yeah, we can.
Because I've had a lot of people ask me
that's
how they
cool.
can look at it,
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
and I didn't know exactly what, but
So that's the one, I'm sorry, that's the one you said is not released right yet, though, right?
Yes, you can now. We put on our social media cost contact.
So we put on
You can
Facebook.
blast it however much you want.
So you ain't changed since the first one you seen?
No.
Oh, definitely. As soon as it gets released.
Yep. We've got, Marissa's working on a full slideshow of everything.
I can't go to the PGA Championship.
well, that sounds good. Anything else, Mud Run?
That was all I had. Yeah, it was neat. And so then, fishing derby, we had another great turnout, great weather. Jared and Peter Patton are the two big guys for that event. 64 kids, 131 total guests, parents, and everybody else. So, shoot, Jared, you don't have that picture of that one. The biggest fish caught was over 2 pounds.
It's right at 2.3 pounds.
Oh, my God.
Who's the granddaddy of the lake?
The little kid holding it, it looked like it outweighed him. I mean, it was massive. I've never seen
Cool.
that big, but it was really good. We have a lot of return people. I mean, I'm starting to even recognize all these guys that Jared has known for a long time.
That will be in Buzz.
Okay.
Should be in Buzz.
Okay. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And hot dogs, everything was sold, so it was good. It only cost us $83 to put that event on, and so it's a good one to get everybody out here. And once again, great weather for it, so it was good.
Sounds good. Something we've been doing for a long time and need to continue, right?
Yep.
And did they put any stocking fish this year?
Just normal stocking. We were actually discussing that. We did not have them. They didn't come back to do a special stocking, but I don't think that hurt us at all. I mean, kids
Well,
are catching fish left and right.
The way they've done the deal, they're fishing there, except the guys from down Caldwell County come up and take them out. But other than that, I mean, they're still taking fish out of there by the bucket load. Just as soon as the truck comes up,
Man, they good.
those old boys from Lenore and Hickory and Wilkes County, they know when they're stocking and they come up and, I don't know, I mean,
They definitely hit buckeye like that hard.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But especially down there too. So I don't know, that's something we wish we could regulate. I don't know how you do it. The young guy that's the new wildlife guy, he's pretty aggressive and pretty good, isn't he? Did he come up for this? Okay.
No, we didn't have an officer this
I
year.
thought he was gonna make it. Peter thought he was coming.
He was here the year before.
Yeah, he's been, yeah,
That's a busy day for him.
oh, I'm sure.
Well,
He's gotta be a lot of places, right?
Is there any way we can require a special stand to fish
Well, I mean,
those 2 lakes?
it's all the wildlife people. We don't have any.
It was a state law. So actually, one of the other things that Peter was talking to us about, the state law had changed now. It's 17 and under can
Yeah.
fish. So that same day, we had a few people that were 17 and under fishing. We just told them, you're not a part of the tournament. That's 12 and under. So they were still able to fish. They just couldn't do it.
Participate.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we have to, on that one, we have to abide by the state.
There's only so much we can do.
Is there any way we can, that's published when they put the date in North Carolina Wildlife Magazine. Is there any way we can ask them not to put that information in?
What day are you talking about?
Just
All the
public-
stocking dates are in the North Carolina Wildlife
It's- It's
Magazine.
online
public
too.
information.
It's online.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
sad.
It is. It's sad.
That would help, but those guys live for that when they can read it
Yeah.
and figure it out. But you can almost tell when you see a car coming where it's from and what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
So, okay, anything else fishing derby wise? Okay, item number 4, membership regulations and additional members.
Yes, so what I would like to just mention or ask you guys to kind of think about, we've been noticing with our online sign up, how to come to this. So right now the regulation says 25 and under living in a household is a family member. By doing and opening stuff up online, we have no way of controlling that. So we've had a lot of grandparents buy, 10 kids passes, which they're not really supposed to. We've looked at a couple other rec facilities, and some of them actually offer your family pass is 4 people. Anything additional is $50 more. Maybe going to a method like that for our system, because we do have a lot of grandparents who come in and want to get passes for their kids and their grandkids. I have no problems with that, but it's always kind of a fight sometimes when we say, sorry, you can't do that. It's we don't allow that. It's 25 and under, and so forth.
We need to make it easy on you so you don't have to sit there and argue with them.
Yeah, but again, it's up to the committee. If it's something you think we could want to do or should do.
Well, if you got an idea how you would like it to be.
Basically, I'm thinking
just said.
family passes. You got
For
4 people, and if you have any additional kids, whether it's grandkids or great grandkids, whatever, then it's just an additional X amount, and
Per
that
kid or
per person. So
Yeah, not
Kid or
defining
not,
it
yeah.
by age, just by
yes.
numbers.
Yeah, so therefore we
So
wouldn't fall
if a
in.
household buys, they get 4 passes, is
They
that
would get
right?
4 passes in that
Okay.
175 or
Right.
200 for the resident. But then if they have that 5th child, grandkid, whatever it be, then it's additional.
But a grandchild can be in that 175 or
Yes.
200?
So then it would all kind of lump in together. So we wouldn't have the dependent age. We would just have a family pass is 175 per resident. Up
You have to
4
name
people.
those children at that time?
We do, that's on
Okay.
our list. So yep. You would,
Okay, you're still gonna say they have to be 25 and under to be included in that 4-person deal. But if they have a son that's 45 years old, he's gonna have to go the other route, right?
It's a different
I was
house.
thinking it
It's
would
a,
just
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, dude.
So
Yeah,
it'd be
if it's a
complete-
different household.
you'd have to buy his own.
Yeah, but it would be a way, a good example is, we had a fellow the other day, he signed him and his wife up, but then he signed up like 6 or 7 grandkids. He didn't sign up to his kids, just the grandkids, and when he called me to renew it, I looked his pass up, and I found, how did you beat the system? And he goes, I signed up online. There's no way for us to fix that. So that's why I was like, okay, well, if he would just sign him and his wife and then 2 other people, that would have been 3 or 4 other kids that we would have had to sign up separate. So,
Well, and kids are need more hands-on from you guys than adults do. 10 grandkids coming in, that would be,
I think it makes sense.
It makes
Just
a lot
do
of
the
sense.
4, you get a
Yeah.
4-pack, and then each additional would be another $50 or $75.
Sounds good.
would you say use the 4-pack however you want? And then that way, if you have your 45-year-old son, if you want to have him on your pass, you do. So it's I guess the 4 people would, however you choose.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
basic
additional.
4-pack.
What would you guys think or suggest of the extra?
I'd go between $50 and $75 a pass, once they buy the first 4.
well, probably 50 is more reasonable since it's basically what they're paying now.
But a lot of times it's gonna be a one-time shot
But
with
it's,
somebody bringing their grandchildren. They're not gonna wanna pay $50 per grandchild.
Now they can still do the
For
day
a whole
pass.
year.
Day pass, that's
They
right.
can still do that, yes. This is if they just want to have a membership.
Right.
If they come up periodically.
Right.
Could use any time,
That's
yeah.
good. That's
but are we gonna lose any, okay, family A is the father, family B is the son, and they both used to have memberships, and then they go under the father.
If they end up with a bunch of extra people, they'll just buy another 4-pack.
But what happens if you keep it under 25 or 25 and under?
I don't.
Make it 4 people be,
I just suggest, if you limit it to 4 people, no matter what their age is, I think that solves everything. You don't want to get in and try to regulate ages.
Right.
And then like that,
Yeah.
it's 50 for additional person, or if they get 4 additional people, it's another 175.
Right, and don't even regulate
I
it by
think the 50 is
age.
a good price. I think the 50 is a perfect price. That's a whole year.
Because you can't regulate ages. That's going to be a positive part.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I agree with you.
Rephrase
Do
it then.
we, since that's a policy, a price range, do we have to ask the town council to approve that? It's a,
I believe so, because we in our fee structure, So it'd probably be on.
Okay, everybody,
Can we rephrase it how
state
you
it
think?
one more time.
Thank you.
Write it up. and we'll
Rephrase
ask
it.
town council to approve it.
Yes, so it would be, so no longer, we would do away with the family pass, but it would be a annual pass.
House pass.
Yes. Annual house pass of $175 is 4 people. Any additional members, $50 per person.
I think that's
I
fair.
agree with that. I think that works.
And now here's something to throw in the mix. We also have that weekly family pass. Would you even mess with it? So the weekly family pass is $30. It's kind of the same thing. So you could do $30 and then $10 additional per person.
30 for 4, right? Yeah.
I would do that too.
And also, I would say the majority of it is our weekly pass when we get a list of kids.
Okay.
So that might be something. So
Yeah.
Okay, so on the weekly pass, it'll be $30
Or 4.
for 4, and then how much? $10 for 4 more?
Yeah, for, that's a good idea.
I like that.
I
Yeah,
like it.
it's simple.
You know, somebody's having a big outing that you don't
Yeah,
want
it's
to
nice
kill
to
them
get
either.
it. Yeah.
You want them there.
Yeah.
So do we have to pass a motion to change that or
We can say we're in favor of it.
in favor?
We
Okay.
make a motion,
Recommendation.
we're off.
Mr. Chairman, you go ahead and move to approve, because I need
Okay.
to go.
Make a
hear a motion?
Somebody
recommendation.
send to me, because I've got to get the budget.
Do I hear a motion that we approve as Sean has presented?
I make a motion.
I second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion passed, thank you. Anything else?
If Sean can send it to me today, because we're trying to finalize the last budget package,
okay,
and that'd be awesome.
okay.
Okay, sounds good. Good.
Good catch.
Well, it's a tough catch if you're doing it online.
It was, and also if the guy hadn't called.
No giving, you have to give somebody's driver's license or something if you're gonna do it that way. You're gonna have to show identification online
We need to
somehow.
make it as easy for Sean's crew as we can and still keep a little law and order.
Yeah.
One more.
Okay, Sean, you want to continue with anything?
That's it for the membership regulations. And under miscellaneous, I have just one thing to kind of mention to you guys, which I went to Lowe's the other day to get some samples. They didn't have anything for me as a sample, but we need to do a backsplash behind our stovetop in the kitchen. This past Easter, when the kids were using it, and I mean, of no fault of theirs, but the kitchen just wasn't designed for that when they put the stove in. It melted the laminate in the back, so we just need to cut that out and put a backsplash, and then we'll fix it. Jared and I went the other day to try to get some stuff. I'm thinking some stone looking, just something, you know, look a little bit more appealing, but like I said, I was hoping to have some samples to show you. They didn't have anything for us. I don't think we really want to get tile. That could just get really expensive for a section that's that big. It's
What are you going to use now?
We're looking at, they make a nice stick on, and so you put it up with liquid nails. And so, I mean, it's something we can do in
But
an
is
hour.
Do it
Is it
yourself?
fire retardant? Does it meet the code? Did you,
It
can
would
you
be
ask?
heat resistant, which is basically what the lemon is not, and it melts it straight up. So I told the guy what we were using it for. It was next to a gas or a propane stove. He said, this would work for you. I said, tile would be the best. This would be very close. And then he told me what to stay away from. So, I mean, I'm going off of their recommendation.
Even a sheet of stainless steel, or it's,
And they have that too. They have just a metal plate that we can put up.
and you just screw it in. It's not hard to clean.
Yeah.
It's very easy to clean.
Looks good.
Call David.
Put a little
He's
trim
probably
around it.
shooting us.
Exactly.
You probably can't find us.
I think we can leave it up to you to do the best thing
Yeah.
and make it look good, but follow all the deals as far as being safe and not burning the building down.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Okay.
And that's all I have. Yes, sir.
Okay, we can go around the table. You have anything?
Well, I wanted to bring this up because if you use the search engine in Internet Explorer and you put in Beach Mountain, it comes up and on the side is Beach Resort, and then there's multiple beach mountain chalets, you know, and everything. And so I got to thinking about this. I think that Buckeye is a part of Park and Rec, but we now have the dog park, we have the hiking, we have the mountain biking. So to get maximum exposure for Park and Rec, I think we need to like think about changing the name to Beach Mountain Park and Recreation. That way, if anybody Googled Beach Mountain, our site would come up with those. And I know we have it on the town, but I was just thinking from a branding standpoint, we've moved so much farther past the rec center. We're really the town's
Recreational system.
parks center. So I just kind of wanted to bring that up so we can kind of vet it and think through that and see.
It could still be tagged under recreation. Beach Mountain, Town of Beach Mountain could be tagged under Parks and Recreation and then Buckeye come up. I'm not sure you have to change the name as much as change the
Yeah,
way
you
you
just put
pay for
in-
it to
you have
go
to
into
put in-
Google and all those
Right.
things.
Right.
Certain
Right.
search words are put into the actual website.
Right.
And based on the number of mentions of what you put in is how it shows up in search engines.
Right.
Well, one thing, Willie, I'd say what she's talking about, Buckeye Recreation Center, it really is the Beach Mountain Recreation Program.
Yes.
It's not the Buckeye Recreation
Right.
Program. But
Right.
if y'all decide to change the name, I think just recommend going to council and then discuss it as well. But I can see changing the name because people do recognize Beach Mountain more than Buckeye.
Yes.
Yeah, it may come up, but it may not, because Buckeye Rec Center is basically just a facility.
Part of
the
the name
Beach
of
It's just the
Mountain
name of it.
Like a trail name.
Yeah.
Just like Shane Outpost is a part of the club.
Right. So I was just thinking, we just need to think going forward because we're growing our program out, that it's really the Town of Beach Mountain Park and Rec. So,
And I've been really trying to do that. I mean, everything that we put out, I mean, even our shirts says
yes,
Parks and Rec, on our flyers, instead of saying Buckeye, it's Beach Mountain Parks and Rec. So branding it that way, we have been, but I get what you're saying online. I'm not sure how to do it. I could talk to Katie Maynard. She probably has some ideas. It's search optimization keywords.
Right, SEO.
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll just let you all think about it and whatever, because all we want to do is make it easy for people to negotiate and navigate through it and whatever, so, good point.
And the other thing that makes that stuff come up is how many people visit that website.
Right.
That's why the resort comes up first, because that's probably the top
The hot hit.
thing that people are searching for.
Yes.
But the resort isn't Town of Beach Mountain. If you put in Beach Mountain, it comes up, but not if you put in Town of Beach. If you put in Town of Beach, this comes up, I
So
think.
here
is what-
soon you
Yeah.
put Beach Mountain biking, we're going to come up.
Yeah.
It's getting good up there.
It is.
Okay,
I'm the newbie on the block. I don't know that
you
much.
can speak your piece.
Well, I love that you all are creating a recreation program for the younger people. I am absolutely 100% behind it. The mud run was, I wasn't there. I can't believe I'm never at these things. I keep going out of town too much. But I loved it. I loved every bit of it, and I encourage more of it. I think bringing the young families and including the young children, you do all that kind of stuff, but I just encourage more and more and more. More we can do, more we can get. Even in the wintertime, whatever we can do to get them there. I've been there on weekends at the rec, and I'm not taking anything away, but when I walk in, I don't see my faces. I don't see you, I don't see Jared, I don't see Kate, and you see someone else. And I just, maybe if there's some way we can get a more familiar face on the weekends, once in a while. And that's just for me. That doesn't, I'm gonna still come, so it doesn't matter. I'm talking about somebody other than. The weekends have to be almost, if we can get more organized stuff in the winter on the weekends for children, even daycare, could be something we could look at. For kids that don't ski.
In a camp.
A
We do
camp.
do it with camp.
You do,
about 3
do you
years
do Christmas camp?
Yeah,
or-
you do
We
the
did
Christmas
one.
camp, right?
We did do
Yeah.
that? Okay, see, I'm the newbie on the block. I don't know all these things.
Well, 3 years ago, David actually did do a week-long winter summer camp. And it went okay. It wasn't great. This past year, Marissa changed it just a little bit, so it wasn't like a full week. But we did do some, I guess, smaller special events the week of Christmas. Because found the campus was kind of heavy, and mostly it was parents dropping them off so they could ski.
Well, that's exactly,
Which, I mean, it was a good idea, but,
it's difficult.
So it was, more it's difficult to staff it. We had staff the one year that we did it, last year, I mean, it would have been her by herself. So that was the difficulty that we had.
Well, I just love the place down there. I live there.
Okay, thank you, Roy.
Been on Wild Irish Trail a lot. I think the apparatuses are clean and look good. I don't think it takes away from the trail. It looks like a fitness trail. City of Hickory has a nice one where you go and do sit-ups and all. This is just a little step up. One thing I've noticed, people, hikers, where the mud areas are, Sean, hikers have laid like little rocks because the mud's oozing. Could we either drain those areas in the off season when we're not racing, like put some 4-inch pipe in to keep the trail? Because when you get there, I've noticed bike tires through there and it's kicking the mud out. I mean, it looks great. People still might want to run in the mud. Just put a drain there, or drain the areas when not in use for racing, or put some nice stepping stones. But there's 2 or 3 places where people lay little rocks and it's kind of sketchy. And it's, and we've been dry too up until yesterday, so it's still wet. But other than that, I think I've had some people make comments they didn't like it being up all the time. But I personally, I've talked to Fred about it and other people. I think it looks.
It's always been
neat.
wet there.
It
It's always
is.
been
It
wet.
comes off that bank there and it looks good.
If
But I
there's a
think
spring up the
everything.
hill from us.
Yeah, I think
It'd
the
be
trail
nice to
looks-
have it so people didn't have.
Yeah, where you don't have to. I've noticed some.
They've
There's
done
a lot
that
of
on
bike
concrete,
tires
put a
down there.
bunch of rocks
Yeah, and I noticed people
that
are
you
going
can
out of the
step
trail and enlarging the trail. But
Yeah.
they don't, you
No,
see that at
keep
Moses
it.
cutting, people cut an area from here to
Making
Raleigh.
their
I
path.
don't know why they do that, but anyway, but it looks good.
I'll talk to Sean about that.
But it looks nice. I mean, it looks really nice. And I didn't know where we were. I know it's getting time. I've had people asking about the lease at Emerald Mountain Outback. Is there any plans in the future to start implementing meetings, or do all of us need to get together, or,
Sean, you want me to tell you that one?
Yeah.
We have asked repeatedly, and they don't want to meet with us. They're putting it off, they're not wanting to meet. And so, I mean, I appreciate you asking.
Yeah.
We've asked to the point where they're almost like, don't call us, we'll call you. So they're not entertaining any of our inquiries. We can kind of continue, but like I said, they told me one time they were going to develop a subdivision up there, and that's the last big conversation we had probably about 6 months ago, and that's it. And we're also having some negotiation with them about Oz and stuff, and they don't like that, so we're kind of at an impasse.
Same story, different.
Does the
day.
same family own all of that still?
Yeah. And then
I mean,
there's-
we're trying, but
there's
I mean,
coming in there.
I don't have my hopes up,
Jack,
so
you know.
that's kind of.
Well, the thing, the opening day up there, I mean, not only resort people were texting me, that there were cyclists up there, and they were just, as my daughter says, blowing my phone up on, EMO stuff. They were like, good night. It's better than it's ever been, and it was a Memorial Day weekend, and just getting comments from people, in the community of, like you said, cycling, and they were saying, it's just getting better. And I thought, gosh, we've got this great product up there. Sure would like to, I wish our homeowner, I wish the owners of the development, and I respect the fact they want to develop it, don't get me wrong there, but it just would be nice if we were just a little more secure, and all that, because, I've never had that much response personally, that people have said how great it is, just like you've said recently. You sent an email out to Carolina Life magazine.
Yeah.
I was, down my dad saw it in Chapel Hill. He goes, I saw you.
Where can we pick up one of those? I've looked 2 or 3 places.
It's the power company down in east of us.
Yeah, it's like Charlotte.
It's kind of like the Tennessee thing that we get,
Oh, okay.
but it's the other people in,
People that don't.
it's
even-
online though if you want to
Oh,
read it.
I read it
Yeah.
online. I
Yeah,
just
people don't
wanted
even
to.
ride bikes or, like seeing it. So I just want to read. Well, Sean sent a couple emails out to all of us the last few weeks on the EMO system and the trails, and then also to say that a lot of cycling I've done down in Buckeye area, I see a lot of shuttle trucks down to the little parking lot near the sewer plant there with bikes on the back or racks waiting for the group, which is a trail y'all did. I'm assuming Hawthorne, I don't go downhill very fast. But,
has become.
you know, I mean, that's another thing. So I just want to, you know, say as a cyclist, I've been up here a long time. I've never seen the activity as much. And I'm talking town, not only resorts done a great job too. I'm talking just what you and your staff have done to take what we had and improve it. And that's a compliment to you. I just want to protect it. And I appreciate what Tim said. I'm
You hate
sorry
to
that
put,
Tim's hit a
yeah.
dead end. I can tell by his face he wants to make it
We
better.
don't have.
We'll still
anybody-
support Tim. We're not going to do, but I just want to say anything that we need to do or anybody else. I mean, we're not town employees, Fred and I and Carol or whatever. Maybe whatever we can do to protect our great asset we have up here.
I mean,
I hate to see us struggle when we're trying to make stuff better, and everybody in this room is succeeding. But then we get someone that doesn't let us do our job. That's real difficult. But I respect the fact they own the land too. I mean, I wholly respect that. I'm 100%.
You know, the problem is we don't have anybody that has a love affair with Archie. And, I mean, it's hard to do. Well, it's difficult. And if we can figure something out, you know, like we've done well with the elders on situations, but, I don't know what we can do about that.
I want to continue looking into keeping it, obviously, but I don't want to let our discussions of reaching out to the elders fall to the wayside.
Well, no, I'm going to talk about that in a minute.
And Eagle's Nest is there, and that's, you know, Plan B, C, whatever. I mean, it's always around there.
Yeah.
So I'm not, you know, I guess like what Tim said, I'm disappointed, but I'm not. I mean, we always can figure it out. But you never know. I'm not kicking it out. I think there's, I mean, you know, just trying to think positive here, but I'm just complimenting you and your staff. I've never seen the response and stuff. And then people that were talking to me don't typically ride that type of riding, and they're just you know, amazed by the trail work and stuff, and even stuff you guys did. Not only what Mike did, I mean, we know Mike's stuff, but you got a great talent too. So really appreciate that.
And the one thing too, the lights have not told us we can't use it, but you know, where I see this going is they don't want a formal agreement. They want to be able to snatch it out at any time. I think we can keep on using it indefinitely until they get ready to do
That's a good point,
But
yeah.
I just don't think they want to legally bind themselves.
Yeah.
So I mean, the thing that's good is they've not told us no, they're not saying, us, you know, you need to be out by this
Okay,
day.
how much longer do we have? 2 years?
2021. I don't
There
know.
wasn't a month, I don't think, on it. It just said that year. The best side, like what Tim said, I think we can still use it. But if we were to look in, so I've been talking to Mike about Southern Ridge and Jackalopes, they really need some help. So I said, well, shoot, you know, that'd be awesome to contract you. However, are we really going to put up money to do it if we don't have the longevity? So that's the side that I see. And then the beginner trail we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we do something in the house, but I mean, what Mike did was just fabulous.
I'll say the Oz Forest Run, I mean, my neighbor came up to me yesterday, Tuesday, and he wanted to buy a bike.
Yeah.
He said he went up there and hiked it, and he goes, I need to buy a bike. He said, I'm thinking about spending $400 or $500, and I said,
Yeah.
you'll get killed. But I said no, and I sent him to Headwaters. I said, talk to those guys. Here's the kind of bike you need. But anyway, he made a comment that Oz Forest Run looks like I can ride it now.
Yeah.
And I thought that is exactly was our goal.
Yes.
And this is a guy he's a runner, trail runner, hiker. He participates in a lot of Buckeye stuff. New guy up here, works from his house with Wells Fargo. So I mean, he's very fit. He and his family, and the kids come up. They're in med school at Duke in Carolina. I mean, they come up and do everything. So here's another person, you know, using our facilities at the town and wants to buy a bicycle. And hopefully it's not. I don't want to prepare him to not be sticker shock, but I'll tell you, get up. But that loop that you guys worked on that Mike did. I mean, he said that. He goes, I think I can ride it now. And I was like, man,
That's
you know,
great.
that's really great. And his kids want a bike, you know. So they come up now. So
But
they-
it looks fun. I mean, that's
it
the thing
looks,
with it.
it's not scary. Those routes, I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't mind
You
it
wanna
personally,
keep-
but I mean,
You wanna
it's
keep
now, it's like,
something, you know, you don't want to make it buffed out.
I mean, I rode my cross bike on it. I rode a cross bike on it and was fine. I had a walking section.
Okay.
Anyway, it's all good.
Keep going.
Great job.
Anything
Yes,
else?
sir.
Okay, I've talked to Bill Elder. We've kind of opened the dialogue. And the way I put it to him, I want you to think about it. I want you to think about questions you have. And we'd like to explore the possibilities of using some of their property, some of the old cross-country ski trails. And talked to Michael Holland too. Michael has a pretty good map or something or other that he's done himself of where the cross-country trails are or were up there. And so, you know, Bill's, you know, he was glad to think about it, and that's the stage it's at right now. And I don't know what the family dynamics are about who owns what up there and so forth, but, you know, I emphasize we'd like to consider the possibility of using areas that were once used as cross-country ski trails and other possibilities up there. And so he said he would entertain the thought and think about it, and we'll get back with it. So anyhow, we've opened up that.
May I ask what you're thinking of doing up there?
That's the land right up here.
Well, I know the land.
And it's really,
Right.
we've talked about it for a couple of months, a couple of years, really. Make it more, it's same access from the parking lot up here, is to go up in there, and we've explored it on some maps. It's real beginner friendly. It's town
So you're
access.
talking bike, hike?
Hike, run,
run.
yeah, same scenario, multi-trail source, do something nice.
Basically, just like Emerald Outback is, but over on that.
But
side.
right up
Okay,
on
it's
this
and it's
ridge.
gorgeous vistas from
Yeah.
everywhere
Yeah.
over there.
It's a totally different landscape
vistas are-
too, yeah.
And it's right in town, and that's what the key thing is leave here and still have everything right here.
Mhm.
And you get back, you got food and beverage and playgrounds and putt-putt and all this kind of stuff.
That's true. Cool.
And also, we have parking at Dog Park right up there, so we also talking about enlarging that in the future, so it's a good location.
Cool. Thank you for the explanation.
Okay, my last thing, I don't know whether y'all have noticed, but Skyline Telephone painted their building at the dog park. And we have Jeff Davis to thank for that. He's good friends with
And
the gentleman that is head of Skyline, and we talked about it, worked it out. And while we were thinking about who we could get to do it, I went up there one day and it was done. So that was nice. And
Awesome.
Jeff didn't do it.
Jeff is,
Jeff had his friend. But he helped me.
I'm only
because
kidding.
I
I'm
brought-
only kidding. That was a dig at Jeff.
He had inlet. Okay, I'm through.
but Jeff Davis is having an open house tonight.
And so is our rec center.
They're
So,
cutting the,
yeah.
and
cutting
so is the
ribbon.
rec center at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, so I think Jeff's at 6:30, so you can try and hit both or whatever. I just wanted to remind everybody about the, A Cooler 5 is next Saturday.
Yes.
4 breweries, we've got it all set, Appalachian Mountain Brewery, Beach Mountain Brewing, Boonshine, and Kettleworks are the 4. Registration is live on the rec center. Kate has posted 2 videos on Facebook. One is the course, so you can see the actual mapping of the course. The other one is just about the run. So if anybody has Facebook accounts, you may want to share those videos just to start getting word out and getting people registered for it. I wanted to compliment the volunteer trail guide. I brought my little cards if anybody wants to see them. They are my cheat sheet for my first hike that I'm going to lead. And I'd encourage everybody to join it if they do another class, because not only do you learn more about Beach Mountain, it's just a fun thing to do and to give back to the community. And I think that's it for me.
Okay, Ms. Barber.
I was thinking that maybe we could build one, you've seen those little libraries around a lot of communities? Another way to get people at Buckeye, if we put one of those little libraries, boxes by the Chamber of Commerce, by the office over here, and then just put a note at the, engraved thing, available at Buckeye Rec Center, more books or something. If we could, just
Like
something.
share a book, you mean?
Shared
Like
book
share
community. They've got different names for them in different communities, because I went online to look, but they're little libraries. And, you have like a little, about 5 or 6 kids' books and a few adult books.
So is it just a sign?
No, it's a little house.
I've
Just-
got.
It's like
I've
a
got some
mailbox.
pictures
It's like
of
a-
one
It's an oversized
down
mailbox.
in
Yeah, they're about,
Forest City that I took, because I thought it was a good idea, and I'll share those with you.
they're
Okay.
usually about 2 feet by 18 inches high. Doors open up and
They're kind of weatherproof.
weatherproof a little bit.
Are you thinking an outdoor box,
Yeah.
or will we
Yeah,
have
it's done
one inside?
outdoors.
Outdoor, you would, just over there where the information little
Yeah.
kiosk is, right there.
Okay.
And, you know,
That would
They're
be
called
good
Little
for
Free
parents
Libraries.
Yeah,
that
Little
come for
Free
the sledding
Libraries.
deal.
Yeah, keep it all
I've
year,
used
all
them in
year
a lot of
long.
towns. And it just, you know,
Sean, that might be a good project, like Lisa McCray or some service group that wants to do one.
Yeah,
or even your Boy Scouts,
Or Boy Scouts.
or your Boy Scouts.
Yeah, I do.
I think that's a great idea.
I've been wanting to say it a lot of
I
times.
have a girlfriend with
Too
one in
many
her
times.
front yard. She put it right in front yard, share a book.
Oh, they're in
Take
a
a
lot
book,
of
leave a
towns,
book.
front
Yeah.
yards.
It's kind of a taken,
Yep.
drop
Yeah.
off table.
Right, same way as we have it out there, but just up there and another way to get them out there. More books available at the Buckeye Rec Center.
Okay.
And maybe they want to put them a few more places in town, I don't know. And again, I just cannot say how great the staff is at Buckeye. I have
Absolutely.
never, ever seen a rec staff so good.
I
End of
agree.
story.
I agree.
I agree.
You
We
hear
don't
that,
get
Jared?
along or anything.
No, you don't get along. No, but everybody just works
Okay.
together and enthusiasm is unbelievable.
It's all good. We hope everybody has a great summer. A safe and good one.
Yeah, summer camp starts in 2 weeks. Oh, and good news, scholarship program, we're full.
Wow.
Yep, we've
Really?
filled it.
Nice.
More for the
Perfect.
money that we have allotted.
Nice.
Sure.
We got ahead of it this year, so I wanted to share that information.
How
with
many
them.
children?
8.
Perfect.
You have enough funds?
That's-
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we took what we could with the money, and so we're good. So that was good news.
Good.
Yeah.
That is great.
Planning early. Are we gonna do the canoe again this year?
Yes, good reminder. Marissa knows. I said let's get in touch with Fred now and start that in probably June and July rather than late July.
Yes.
So yes, we'll do the Pack the Canoe, get on the concert series.
With the first concert?
We start on the 14th of July.
14th of July. Okay.
May I add one more thing?
Uh-huh.
I wanted to compliment you on Upper Pond Creek, that area that I sent you pictures on, the smoothing it out and grading. That was a great job.
Thank you.
Great
That's
job.
actually Public Works.
Well, whoever did it turned
Yeah.
out perfect.
That's the
I
buck
can't
shot.
tell you, it wasn't, but no, I mean,
I guess they threw a new sewer line in there and then, okay,
they've had to
perfect.
do a lot of repairs actually for us, and then also they're working on the arbor this week on Hawthorne for Grassy Gap Trailhead. They're capping at Perry Park. There was an old, since that was the water plant years ago, they're capping that. Should be done this week. I need to check with Matt Clausen. But that's been on for about a year and a half to do, and they said they'll do it this week. The next thing will be the Falls Trail. I don't know if I sent these photos out. A month or two ago, we had super heavy rain, and it eroded the entire trail
Right.
all the way down to the main bridge, not the trail side, but the water plant side. So after the divers were done, then they're going to go back and refill that and do it. So that's on their list too. Right now, we're just telling everybody you can go to the fall, just come back the same way, not to go around. Because I mean, the ditch was 4 feet deep and all the way down. It was something we couldn't do. It had to be done with their. So that's going on as well. But
Well
I'll let them
done.
know.
Well done, Public Works.
Okay, if nobody has anything else?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add
Yes,
one
sir.
thing. We are going to have a shade structure in the Bark Park, since it's moved out of the trees now, because we're getting ready for a new public works building, that's being constructed. Material's about $4,000, so if anybody's a Bark Park, angel provider or something, if they want to donate to help defray the cost, let somebody know.
Where's it gonna be located? Up in the,
It's going to be, basically on the, if you go to the left-hand side, where it used to be in the shade, it's going to be right there. There's a big tree right there on the right, it's going to be, I think we said, it's the same size as the one now, I'm not sure, but it's not going to have a concrete pad under it, it's just going to be a post and right on the ground. Like that, there'll be where people can put their chairs or something under there and be out of the sun.
okay. Anybody in the audience?
Are we gonna have maps for that,
What?
for the trail? Are you gonna be making maps for the people?
Like the hand, just a little personal. What was the last meeting we were talking about? I've already got the composite signs to be printed after next fiscal year. So we're going to have maps out on the actual trail system. Everything's reglazed. We'll kind of knock out so that Kate Dominguez still prints out the pamphlet that has a map inside of it, and that will be kind of to replace, instead of always having to hand out paper maps and then the thing blowing away, paper all over the woods. So at each intersection, there's going to be an 18 by 24 map with a "you are here," so that way it'll tell. Plus, it's kind of moving in that direction. So it'll take place of those maps, but we shouldn't go get lost with that.
Well, please don't get rid of the big trail map, because I
let's keep
sell
that.
those, I mean, you know.
Yeah, no, the big trail maps,
Dozens
all
of
those
them,
are still
yeah.
going. Yes.
So at each section, they're gonna have a map?
Yes, so the big intersections.
How soon?
Very confusing. I've got them ready to where all I gotta do is have the money, so I'll put that order in as soon as the next budget is done.
Okay, we need to keep the other maps until you get there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah, we still got 5,000 of the big ones that we've got plenty to go.
okay, if nothing else, anybody? Riley, you got anything to say? Okay. Okay, do I hear a motion that we adjourn?
I motion we adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Back to camp.
Yeah.
I'm at quilt camp.
You're what?
I'm at quilt camp at Lindell.
Nice.